Hey Nathan, it's Monday, January 13th. Your video on Friday was great. I can't believe that selfless decision that kid made to save all of his classmates. And he did it without hesitation. That's truly incredible. It was good to see Captain Plausible again. You didn't tell me he had stopped by. If you didn't catch Nathan's video from Friday, click here to watch it. Before we get started, I just wanted to say I'm not trying to be a grammar Nazi or anything. I happen to have a slight propensity for grammar and language, and so I understand it really well, and I just wanted to point out some grammar and lexical mistakes that I've been seeing on the internet recently and hearing and reading in everyday life. And don't worry, the mistakes that I'm going to list aren't your typical your versus your and there, and then. They're mistakes that I don't see normally addressed. Okay then. So I've been seeing a lot lately mistakes in pluralization by people adding an apostrophe s to the end of words. Let me be clear, an apostrophe s is only added to show possession or to contract the word is. Example, the PBR book club's current book is The Good Lord Bird. Also, he's dead, Jim. One thing I saw a lot recently was Happy Holidays. Happy holidays, what? What belongs to this happy holiday? I understand, like, maybe it's confusing. People don't know what to do when a word ends in y and they add an s there, and it looks kind of weird because often in English, to pluralize something that ends in y, you change the y to an ie before you add an s, but here you don't. And they know it's not holidays, so they're like, maybe just add an apostrophe in there, maybe? Yeah? No. Just no. The correct form would be just simply holidays. People are adding apostrophes to acronyms while making them plural. These would follow the same rule, so if you're talking about multiple compact discs, you would write CDs. If you're talking about the release of a bunch of prisoners of war, you would write POWs. Or if you're talking about a bunch of fake identification cards that local Bar Louise's has confiscated and then posted all over their walls, you would write IDs. The apostrophe is reserved for acronyms, again, when they are being possessive or contracting is. All clear? Well, we're moving on anyway, because you're not actually here and I can't hear objections, so 10 points to anyone who got that Star Trek reference. Okay, so I see this a lot in texting or in comments, and it's more of incorrect vocab choice as opposed to grammar, but it's the usage of the word ah to convey disappointment or pleasure at insert cute thing. The word awe can mean the wonder or amazement that occurs simultaneously during the feeling of fear or dread, often towards something that is powerful or spectacular and or authoritative. Example, Kevin just stood there, filled with awe as he gazed upon the tumultuous growing sharknado that was headed straight for him. It is used in the common phrase shock and awe, which describes a military tactic to totally destroy the opponent's will to fight through a large display of power. And it's also where the word awesome was derived, although its current meaning doesn't really include the dreadful part. But anyway, that is the only time you should spell the word awe with an E, when using it according to its definition. Without an E, awe is used to convey certain emotions through the utterance of the word. This part gets opinion-y, but I like to say that awe more so describes often not so grave disappointment, like, aw, so Patrick Stewart is the only one of the TNG cast who isn't gonna be at Comic-Con? Whereas awe to the nth degree conveys an unbearable attack of cuteness. The more W's following the initial one, the more unbearable the cuteness. Aw, aw, aw. Lastly and briefly, AH is a sound of revelation or sudden understanding, like, ah, I see, Firefly was cancelled because, no. That phrase will never make sense. But anyway, I don't think people really mess that one up, so moving on. Now, I think people put question marks at the end of statements that contain a question word, which can be deceiving, but basically you never put a question mark at the end of anything that isn't a question. Pretty simple. So if you say, I wonder why Grumpy Cat is so grumpy, you would end that sentence in a period because you are making a statement about how you are wondering, not asking a question about the grumpiness of Grumpy Cat. A way around that would be to insert a colon and of course inverting the question word and the verb. I wonder, why is Grumpy Cat so grumpy? I hope this was somewhat entertaining for you, Nathan, and we'll see you on Wednesday.